Hey, this is Joe KF7MIX, and this is a short supplemental video for the differences between JS8Spotter 1.13 and 1.14. It's only been about a week, and there's only a handful of changes, but they were important enough bug fixes and additions that I thought I would go ahead and just get it done. All right, so a quick video. We'll go over the changelog and just cover everything. The database structure has not changed, so you don't need to update your database file. You can just copy over your file from 1.13. There have been some small corrections in the user interface, some errors from the last version, and some that were actually pretty old as well. Okay, so the things that have changed. First of all, we added more time limits to the highlight in the view menu. So the highlight range has been expanded. It used to stop at an hour, but you can go all the way up to 24 hours now with a few different options there. That was something that MJKW3KW asked for. A couple other things he asked for. He asked for a better way to clear this filter. In the past, you could just type in whatever you want. You could press enter, and you could press escape, or you could erase it manually. I just added this X button as well, just to make it nice and clear. Renamed refresh to apply, so you would type test. You can press enter or click apply, X to clear it. So that's pretty straightforward as well. And the other thing was more views for the matched activity pane. So this used to be set at a fixed option of viewing the last 100 entries. That is irrespective of time. So if I typed in the word question, for example, it would show me everything with question, and irrespective of time. You see this goes back almost a year. At this point now, you can either do that, the last 100, or you can start going into different time frames. For example, if you only want to see things in the last 72 hours, let's type in that same one. You can see that in the last 72 hours that hasn't come up at all. Let's do something a little bit broader perhaps. Any messages that I saw go by in the last 72 hours for people in my contact list there, for example. Or I could, and if you see through this list, it's not bound to be just 100. It can be as many as I want. For example, lots of heart. Well, that's not too much for the last 72 hours. Let's see. Let's clear this filter and get the heartbeat responses. You see that's a lot more than 100. So now a new option is you can either choose your last 100 and just see those, either for filtered or unfiltered results, or you can choose a time frame. So, let's see what else. Oh yeah, somebody requested this, and I cannot remember who, but in the visualize waterfall feature, someone asked for, I think it was one of the groups, the emergency communication groups out there. They asked for the ability to view a different portion of the band. Now this is because not everyone uses the standard frequencies in JS8 call. So you can set whatever frequency you want in JS8 call and communicate there as long as it's within your license. So I've changed it to where you can still select a band like this, but it's going to populate this field in hertz right here, and you can change it. So let me just manually type in another frequency that I used for testing, and I click set. You can see that in the last 7 days, they're gray. Hopefully they show up in the video, but there are entries here. So once again, you'll read in the manual that these will only, you can't just type in random frequencies and hope to find something. It's based on what JSA is set to and what you're actually recording. So if you, as a rule, use other frequencies, you can now type them in here and visualize those on the waterfall, which can be helpful if you have a group of people using a different frequency and you don't want to be stepping on them. See if there's anything else. Oh yeah, so I fixed a few bugs in the form response menu, and added one new feature. Whoops, don't need that maximized. Previously, if you had a form that changed numbers, or you had a missing form in your form folder, for example, the Forest QRP group, we started with form 701, but now it's form 700, but I still have responses that I saved. If I clicked on this previously, it would give an error. It would crash the program. That error has been handled. Now it will simply tell me, hey, that form is missing. Okay. One other thing that has been added is that in the text form response, because you can also right click. If I right click on this, it's the graphical, fills it in. If I double click on this, it gives me the text version of that report. This line has been added, which is the raw format. Now that's for another little piece of software that's being worked on for authenticating messages, and so now you'll be able to copy paste a little more easily if you want to authenticate like a form response. And the rest, yeah, that's all that's been changed in version 1.14.